Hi everyone, and thank you very much for joining me in this tutorial. So in this video, we are going to talk about the various tips that one can use for successfully deploying a Django application on an Ubuntu server. Right, so what all things you have to define and what all configuration file you have to set up on your Ubuntu server through which you can deploy your application and also access it on the IP, on the public IP address of the server. That is what I'm going to talk about in this lecture. But first of all, before doing that, let me show you the application. So this is the IP address of my server, as you can see, and if I do an enter, let me come on advanced, and yeah, so as you can see, I'm able to access this application. Right. Now, how I made it accessible on in the outside world, that is what we are going to talk about on this lecture. So stay tuned with me and do not skip any part. Fine, and watch this video completely from the beginning till the end. And in case you come across any issues or you have any queries, you can put that down in the description section below. I will be happy to help you guys out. Okay, so let's come on these steps. So as you can see, the first step is sudo apt update. You just have to simply open your, you have to SSH into your server and then you have to paste this command. Okay, and you have to paste it like this, and then you can simply execute the enter button. The command will do the rest of the things. Fine. Then comes the second command, which is this. So this is going to install Nginx on your server, right? So we guys will be using Nginx, okay, not Apache for now. So these are two different, things that you can use for deploying the application when it comes to Ubuntu server. Okay, so we are going to use Nginx in this tutorial. So this is what you have to install. Simply copy this command and you can put it over here by left clicking. Okay, so once the command is here, you have to just hit the enter button and this will get installed, because all these things are already there on my device. So I'm not going to do it again. I'm just showing you the steps, you can follow. Then we have the sudo pip3 install virtual environment. Now, you don't have to do this virtual environment like this. What you have to do basically is, once you're done with, once you're done with these two steps, you have to come down here in this var named directory, okay, of your server. Then inside that, if you have www, it is fine. Otherwise you can create a directory named www in which you can put this directory of yours which contains the code of your Django project. So if I double click it, you can see, I have all the Django code over here in this chatbot named folder. Okay, so just make a note of it. Now if I come here and let's come on chatbot project. So basically this is the folder which contains my project configuration, the settings file and all. Rest all the folders are the applications present in my chatbot project. So if I do a chatbot, if I do a double click here, so this is where my settings.py file is. Let me double click it, and so coming down over here, we have something called WSGI application. So as you can see, for me it is chatbot underscore project dot WSGI dot application. Fine, so just make a note of it and let me close the settings.py. Coming back to the steps. So what I've done is I've created a folder named chatbot in which I've placed my project's code. Now, I've created a virtual environment. This is a virtual environment which I've created. Now, how I did that, let me show it to you. So I need to come inside the chatbot name directory first. So this is how I can do it. Sorry. Okay, so now I'm inside my chatbot's name directory. So here, once you are there, in this directory you have to simply fire this command python dash -m okay, so this will create a virtual environment for you for your project over here. Okay, now before when you're firing this command, in case it doesn't work, what you can do, you can put the name, the version of your python over here just after this python, like this, the way I have done it. Okay, once you do it, once you are done with it, you have to simply execute the command and it will create for you a virtual environment like this. Now how to activate this virtual environment? So basically, for activating the virtual environment on Ubuntu, we use this command source, then the virtual environment's name, then comes the script, sorry, not the script but bin, and then we have something called activate. So once you activate it, what you can do, you can start installing the python libraries. Either you can create a requirements file by using freeze command on your local before migrating the code over here on the server, or else you can simply use this command 3.10, then install, sorry, it's going to be pip3, right? Pip3 install, and then the name of the package. Let's say you have a package named pandas, right, which you would like to install. So simply use this command and install it. Likewise, you can install all the libraries required for running your project on server, and also to make it accessible in the outside world. So once you're done with creating the virtual environment, what is the next step? So next step is you have to install Gunicorn. Okay, there is something called Gunicorn. Basically, what Gunicorn does is it sets up a link between your virtual environment and this Nginx server. Okay, so this is what Gunicorn does. So you just have to copy this command, and keeping the virtual environment active or you deactivate it first, you simply install Gunicorn, right? But I would suggest you to keep it activated. Fine, then you have to paste it like this, so you can see the virtual environment is still active, and we can install Gunicorn. So because it is already there on my device, I'm not going to do it. Then we have this port called 8000. As you know, as you guys know, Django by default runs on this port named 8000. Okay, so you need to allow the traffic on it on the server. So how you will do it? You have to simply copy this command and put it over here. So what it will do, it will allow the traffic on this port 8000, so that you can access it on 8000 in the outside world. Then we have this command manage.py run server. So you guys know it very well. Instead of typing this whole command, what you can do, you can simply type python, then the version manage.py and run server. So this will start running the application on port number 8000. Fine. Now you won't be able to access it on in the outside world, on your browser, till the time you set up Gunicorn. Okay, so how to do that? So the next command is Gunicorn bind 8000 text utils dot wsgi. Why here it is text utils? Because let's say you have a project the name of which is text utils. So you have to keep it text utils over here. Now because for me it is chatbot underscore project. You remember I showed you that WSGI thing. So that is what you have to put over here. So you can simply copy this command and you can, run it over here. So what it will do, it will bind this Gunicorn with port number 8000, and once it, it gets successfully binded, the binding is there. So you will be able to access your application in the outside world on this port number 8000. Okay. But now the issue is, if suppose this terminal, if you close this terminal, automatically this binding will get removed and you won't be able to access it further in the outside world on your browser. Now, how to create a proxy so that which can remain active throughout, okay, till the time you delete it or you end it up, fine, so that anytime you access your application on the browser in the outside world, you will be able to see it, you'll be able to access it. Okay, so how to do that? So for that we have the next step, but before that you'll have to deactivate your virtual environment. So how to do that, let me just show it to you. You have to simply type this command deactivate and your virtual environment will go up. Okay, now you have to create a file called unicorn.socket, and where you have to create it, you have to create it inside this folder named etc. Then there is a directory named system D, inside which there is a directory called system where you have to create it. So you can simply use this command and create this file called Gunicorn socket. Let me just show it to you once. So it's there in etc system D, right? We have to go back and then we have to come here on etc. Then we have a directory called systemd, right, wherein we have a directory called system, and then we have this file called Gunicorn. So I would like to just show you, the content which is there in this file, so that things can become clear to you. So as you can see, we have something called unit on the top, and what is the thing that we are using? It is Unicorn socket. So basically, socket is something which helps in getting the update in real time. If you make any changes, suppose in the database, you must have used socket, right? If you are an application developer, so if you do some changes in the database and you do not have any cron job or anything running in the backend which keeps checking the database, because it increases the number of it, so we simply ignore it. So what we do is we create a socket and we put that socket in place, so that in case if any changes happens, users can get the intimation. Okay, so same thing has been done here. We have to create a unicorn socket and then listen stream. Okay, run that socket, and why that, for which, for what that socket is needed, it's sockets.target. So whatever the target is, just target it and run that socket on that target. Fine. So this is a description that you have to paste inside the file. Now, once you're done with pasting the description, what is the next step? So the next step is creating a Gunicorn service file. So this is the one, right? So first you have to create socket, then comes the service file. Let me open this service file and show you what all things I have over here. So description requires after. These are the three things that you have to define under unit. Then comes service. So my code is present in the chatbot name directory. That is the reason I've given this path over here. Then my Gunicorn, where is my Gunicorn present? So you remember we installed Gunicorn in the virtual environment. So there is a folder named Gunicorn which is present in the virtual environments directories name bin. Okay, so from there I'm accessing Unicorn, and then I would like to run this chatbot project, chatbot underscore project. So this is the main project, WSGI application I showed you in the beginning. So that is what you have to put over here, and rest everything will remain the same for you also. Once you're done with that, your service file will get created. Now, once the service file gets created, you have to start Gunicorn. Okay, so this is how you can do it. Either you can use this command or you can simply enable it. Now, this is, once the Gunicorn is enabled, what is the next step? You have to configure your Nginx server. Okay, now how to configure that? So the way we created files for Gunicorn, in the same way we have to create files for Nginx also. So there is a folder named sites available, okay, which you will see in this folder. Let me show you where exactly you can find that Nginx service. So you have to come here inside etc, and then you can press N, and here you will find Nginx. So there are two folders that you will find over here: sites available and sites enabled. So you have to worry about sites enabled. Just open this, just create a file with some name, okay, and here you have to put the configuration of your chatbot or your Django application. So what all things are there in this? Let me show it to you once. Why is this text utils? Because for you it may be text utils, for me it is chatbot underscore project. So if I change it to chatbot underscore project, then also it will do. Otherwise you can simply keep it chatbot also. Okay, so what it will do, it will create a chatbot named file inside the sites available named folder, and there inside it you have to put this whole content. Okay, now besides this, okay, now besides this, what else you have to put here in this in this file? That is what I'm going to show you now. So here you'll have to start with server, then you have to put the domain name, right, which you would like to bind the server with. That's where my favicon icon is present. Okay, static file. You have to tell the Nginx about the static file location. So static files and everything are present in this directory. Chatbot, which is present in www, which is there in this var named folder. Then media is also there in the same folder. Okay, either you can give this slash media, or if you want to skip the slash media, you can do that way also. Then here you have to define that proxy, okay, that you have created, fine, and through which you would like to access the application outside in your browser. Okay, so this is what you have to put in this location name thing. And then comes your SSL certificate configuration. So I've already explained in one of my videos how to install SSL for a Django application deployed on Ubuntu so as to make it securely accessible on HTTPS. So just go and check it out. You will be able to, you'll be able to come to know about the steps you can follow for making this happen. Now, once this is done, you can define this server configuration. Again, because for me, the domain is BIMSI, so that's what I've done. I've placed over here. Fine. Then I would like my domain to listen the chatbot on port number 80. Okay. So that is why I've put this configuration over here. So this is the whole, configuration file that you have to create. Okay, now what is the next step? Next step is to build a link between this file, for me it is chatbot, and the file that will get created automatically in the sites enabled when you will fire this command. So basically, what will happen when you will fire this command? Here we have a folder called sites enabled. So we have to create a link of this file, okay, over here in the inside this folder. So this is how you can create it. You can simply fire this command and it will run, and you'll be able to have it over here in this folder. Now the next thing is to restart Nginx. This is a command to restart it. Once you restart your Nginx, your Gunicorn, your Nginx, everything will become active, and you will be able to access the application on your server's IP address. So basically on HTTPS, you won't be able to do it initially, right? For that, you'll have to install certificate, SSL certificate. Now how to do that, let me show that also to you. So I've shooted a video recently in which I've showed the steps you can follow for installing the SSL certificates on your Ubuntu server, right, and make your application accessible on HTTPS. So these are the two videos which you can go through. The first one is this: secure your Ubuntu server, right? So this is where I'm telling about how to install SSL certificate, and this is where I'm telling how you can point your domain to your Ubuntu server's IP address so that you can access your server through the domain. Fine. So you can watch these two videos. I think you'll find very good things in these videos, and you'll be able to make your application accessible on the domain you have purchased, okay, easily. So that's it from my side in this lecture. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and in case you come across any issues while deploying your application on Ubuntu, or even if it is Windows on which you're trying to deploy it, you can let me know about it. I will be happy to help you guys out. This is it from my side in this lecture. Bye bye, take care, and have a great day ahead, guys.